Dr. Lifeguard here, in the business of saving lives. Here to tell you about the Father's Wish Foundation. The Father's Wish comes from the text in the word that says, Father in heaven says, I wish above all things, not some things, not a few things. I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. The Father's Wish Foundation, we have an organization and we are disaster relief first responders. We are first responders to disasters. All right? So, any type of disaster, whether it's a natural disaster or man-made disasters, we are the first responders.
Okay, so here we are in Malawi. I thought before we left that maybe we should put together some little kits of healthcare stuff. We're actually here to investigate maternal health in Malawi, and I thought while we are visiting some of the healthcare centres that we might take some of the essentials that in Australia we take for granted, things like paracetamol, antiseptic wipes, soap, thermometers, band-aids. Again, so many infections are caused by lack of care, antiseptic wipes and band-aids. Simple, we have them here, it's not so common. So I'm going to put together a few bags.
In 1908, a small hospital was started near Makwasa, Malawi. For more than 100 years, this hospital has provided physical and spiritual healing to one of the poorest countries in Africa. Malawi is home to more than 13 million people, many of whom live in poverty and are in dire need of medical care. Today, Malamulo Adventist Hospital has more than 200 beds and runs numerous community outreach and outpatient programs. The hospital also runs a medical school that trains lab technicians, medical officers, and nurses. The school attracts students from all over the country and is an important part of the hospital's outreach to the community. Students learn skills that will help them earn a living, as well as saving lives of those in need. It's impossible to count the number of lives that have been saved and changed by the holistic ministry of the dedicated staff at Malamulo.
Let me tell you how we got here. There is a gentleman that I went to high school with and I went to college with. His name is Edward Martin, affectionately known as Marty. We call him Marty. We went to a high school called Pine Forge Academy. Then we went to a university called Oakwood University. Marty was a founding member of a organization called NAPS, National Association for the Prevention of Starvation. So while we were in Oakwood University in college, Marty was a founding member in that organization, NAPS, that went all over the world, wherever disasters were, bringing food to people who were starving in natural disasters, here and abroad. So Katrina, NAPS went to Katrina. Marty went to Katrina. When the tsunamis happened in the Philippines, they went to the Philippines. NAPS and Marty, Trench Town, Jamaica, you name it, they've been there. All right, all over the world. So any and every time I could support Marty, from the very first time they started going on these mission trips, I've been supporting Marty. And whatever, I've been doing inner city outreach in an organization called Break the Cycle, all while Marty was in NAPS. So any opportunity, because I had this inner city economic development mentoring program, entrepreneurial development mentoring program called Break the Cycle Survivors program in inner cities, working with young kids between the ages of 11 and 19. Anytime that I could partner up with Marty and expose my young people to service, I did it. I'm coming to talk to you about Xavier and Deja. This video is to let you guys know about how their efforts have been going as far as the community outreach. That's what the clothes are for. And I'll explain that briefly right here. What they're doing is, because they're in a student exchange program, they have decided, with my support, I sell clothes, so I decided that from during this period from March all the way up to July, we're going to be going and finding worthy students here in the Orlando area who might not get a chance to participate in an exchange program like they're in, but who've been working hard in school, have good grades, but they might be in families that can't afford new clothes or can't afford decent clothes. So what we decided to do is, instead of me selling the clothes, Xavier and Deja are going to be helping me, and we're going to be going out into the community and finding these kids who have A's and B's in school, and we're going to be giving away brand new clothes to these young kids. And Xavier and Deja will be explaining a little bit more.
Hello, I'm Xavier.
And I'm Deja.
So tell me a little bit about why you're excited about going out and giving out these new clothes to students here in the area. Why are you choosing to do this type of community outreach?
Because some kids aren't as lucky as others, and they do well in school. They try hard to get good grades, but at the end of the day, their parents can't afford to buy them a lot of stuff. So us giving them clothes is a big thing to me.
All right, Deja, how about you?
I feel that not a lot of kids have what we have. They might not be able to go on this experience, so giving them clothes might help and encourage them to keep getting good grades.
All right. What are some of the clothes you got there, Deja? What's that top shirt say? What is it?
It's a polo shirt.
Okay, it's polo. What's that next shirt?
It's a Rockaware shirt.
Okay, so these are name brand. Is that a tag still on that?
Yes.
Okay, brand new name brand clothes. Xavier, what's over there? What you got over there? What's that?
This is polo,
Okay.
and this is,
That's that Ed Hardy Christian artist here.
yes.
Is that a jersey that I see under there? Look, dig under there. Is that a?
Yeah, right here. Miami Heat jersey.
Miami Heat. Turn it over. Okay. Is that a tag still on that?
Yes.
So you giving away a brand new Miami Heat LeBron James jersey to a kid down here in Florida, huh?
Yes.
I think they're gonna like that. If we had to send food, if we had to send clothing, whatever Marty needed in his outreach missions, we did it. All right. So as my organization grew, and as Marty grew, because Marty left NAPS and went to Zambia, Africa, and Malawi, Africa. And in Zambia and Malawi, he was over the hospital systems, and he was running the hospital systems in Zambia and in Malawi. Okay, so in that capacity, as an administrator over several hospitals in Zambia and in Malawi, he and I decided in 2009 to bring 12 of my mentees in my program and go over to Malawi while he was there and help him build a school in Malawi for the young people there who didn't have access to education.
We have a mentoring program that's starting off right here in Orlando. We've been blessed. We've just been blessed because we're going to allow the Lord to use us, okay? And like I said, once again, we've been blessed to have a program. We want any young people between the ages of 11 and 19. If you want to come out and find out how to learn financial literacy principles before you go to college, this is the program to be at. If you want to learn, find a business mentor who's going to teach you how to be in that career path that you want to go into before you even get there. So instead of dropping out of college, instead of dropping out of high school, because you don't feel like there's no hope or no future for you, there's a program for you. We have those mentors. They're committed to making sure that you, every last one of you, get from where you are, whether it's 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, get to whatever career path you want to get to. Now, let me tell you one other thing. I have to tell you this. Break the Cycle would not be here without a gentleman by the name of Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is an individual homeless on the streets of Detroit for 3 years, high school dropout. Somebody challenged him, like, if you smart enough to go get a GED and show up at my university, I'll match your effort and I'll make sure you get an education. He showed up with his GED at the door of the university. Right now, the man is a professor at Michigan State with his master's degree, going to get his PhD. When I tell you that the anointing of the Lord is on this man, the anointing of the Lord is on this man. He has inspired me to do what I'm doing in Break the Cycle. Okay? This man will be here tomorrow night. You cannot miss it.
Turn E.T. loose and we're going to do Break the Cycle how we normally do. Eric Thomas, Pastor Eric Thomas.
Just quickly, just give me a couple seconds. I just got off the plane, but as I listen tonight, I don't think that it's by coincidence I'm here. I went to Oakwood College, but after receiving a GED, I was homeless for about 2.5 years when actually I joined the church, and Kagia Scott was doing this exact same thing some years ago in the group called Phase 1 at that time. Now listen to what I'm saying. I want you to catch this because he talked about an insurance policy. And for those of us who are insurance policy holders, we understand that we don't hold insurance for ourselves. I need you to hear what I'm saying to you today. My insurance is not just for me. My insurance really is to cover my children and my wife. That's my purpose for insurance. As a matter of fact, as a motivational speaker, I didn't have insurance. And so about 3 or 4 years ago, I decided to take a job at Michigan State University, not for the money, but because my wife really is into insurance. And so I took this job to make sure that my wife and my children felt comfortable. Listen to me, we're talking about insurance. And insurance is not just for us. And so there are a group of people out there who don't know about Jesus Christ, who need to be insured. You listen to what I'm saying. They need to be insured, and they don't know how to get insured, but we know. And so as a high school dropout, someone who was homeless, when I saw Kagia Scott and Phase 1 do what they did, I wanted to go to Oakwood. First generation college student. Mom got pregnant when she was 17, so she couldn't go to college. I joined the church and went about a 1.5 years later, went straight to Oakwood, and Oakwood has changed my life. Listen to me, I've been married almost 19 years. They don't do marriage in my family. They don't go to church on Easter or Christmas. They don't play. But one person was changed, and as he said, God has blessed me to change thousands because I was introduced to this faith.
So 2009, we selected 12 people. We put the trip together. And in May of 2010, I have a stroke, a mild stroke. And in October of 2010, my mother also passed away. So 2010 derailed all of our plans.